Okay, so this lesson is way less fun than the last one because instead of discounts where we get to save money and subtract it off our original price, this video is all about tax, which unfortunately is extra money that you have to pay to the government on most goods that we buy. So in Ontario, the tax is currently 13%. Okay, you'll usually see it called HST, which just means harmonized sales tax. Basically, the government took two taxes that we used to have and put them together, which is why it is called harmonized. You pay this on most things that we purchase in Ontario, but not everything. Some examples of things we don't have taxes on. So we have no tax on fresh food. So let's say you go to the grocery store and you buy a bunch of oranges. You're not going to pay any tax on that. If you go to the grocery store and buy packaged food, so think like packages of granola bars or ice cream or something, that's the stuff that you would pay tax on. So anything that's packaged or processed. Anything that's fresh, like fresh bread or milk, none of that has tax. So we're going to look at how to calculate tax so that when you are at a store and you're trying to estimate how much money you're going to spend, you can have an accurate idea. Tax can really sneak up on you, especially on some bigger items. So things like this TV down here, that's going to be a lot more expensive than the original sticker price here of $4.48. So you always want to keep that in mind. Whenever you go to buy a car, whatever sticker price you see on that car is not what you're actually going to pay. So don't be fooled. Make sure when you're thinking about your budget, you're always thinking about tax. Okay, so tax is very similar to discounts. We're going to convert the percent to a decimal by dividing by 100. We're going to multiply that by the original cost. That's, instead of finding the discount now though, that's going to determine the amount of tax you're going to pay. And then instead of subtracting the discount off, we're going to add the tax onto that original. So you end up paying more money, not less. Okay, so same idea. The first thing we want to do is we're going to convert percent to decimal. Okay, and it doesn't give you a percent here. That's because you're supposed to know that the tax in Ontario is 13%. If ever we're pretending we're in a different country or whatnot, I will tell you what percent the tax is. If you don't see it, then assume we're in Ontario. So 13% divided by 100 will give you 0.13. And that's the decimal you're going to use every time if it's 13%. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, we want to multiply the original cost by the decimal. Okay, so whatever that cost is that you see here, so in this case, $19.97 for this skin cream, I think it is. We're going to take that original price and we're going to multiply it by 0.13 to get how much the tax is. Okay, now this here is telling me $2.59, and then there's a few more decimals here, but we don't have that many decimal places when we talk about money. We only have 2 decimal places, so this is where you need to remember how to round. So if I look at that second decimal place here, the cents place value, okay, that's a 9. The number after it is a 6, which means I have to go up. I have to get higher. That 9 is going to round up to the next 10. So this 50 cents actually gets a little bit bigger. So instead of $2.59, our tax is actually $2.60. Okay, so that is the amount of tax that you're going to pay on that item. Okay, the very last step here is you're going to add the tax to your original price. Okay, that's the last step here. So we have our $19.97 again. And we're going to add the $2.60 extra that I have to spend. $19.97 plus 2.60 gives me a total cost of $22.57. Okay, so I'll say the cream costs $22.57. That's what the actual total is with tax. Okay, let's do a couple more. I'm not going to write out the instructions for each one, but I'll label them again as I would like you to do. Okay, we're going to take our 13% divided by 100. That's the decimal we're going to work with. Okay, here our vacuum is $39 exactly, which is nice. We're going to multiply by 0.13 again to find out how much tax we have to pay. 39 times 0.13, $5.07. Okay, the last step here, take that original $39 again, add the tax, and you will get your new price of $44.07. Okay, that's your total cost. All right, I'm gonna do this TV and then I'm gonna let you guys do this last one by yourselves. Okay, but let's look at this TV and just look at how much extra money you could have to spend on tax. Okay, so our first step here, again, we're converting that percent to a decimal. It hasn't changed, so I'm just gonna write 0.13 as our decimal. It's always 0.13 in Ontario. Okay, our next step, we're gonna take our original price and multiply it by 0.13 to get our tax. And the amount of tax we have to pay is $58.24 on that TV. So that's an extra $58.24 that goes to the government when you buy your TV. So the actual price of our TV going to be $506.24. Okay, so that there is our total cost. Okay, definitely much different than the original price. So don't be fooled when you're buying expensive items. Always make sure you calculate the tax. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish this last one on your own here. Okay. Actually, I'm going to show you a shortcut. I'll show you a little shortcut first for those who want to know it. And if you are still struggling with this stuff, then feel free to stop the video. You don't have to continue watching. But if you think you get tax really well and you want a quick shortcut on how to calculate it, I'll show you that now. So I'm going to take my original price here. Okay, and instead of multiplying by 0.13 to find out how much tax I have to pay, I want a shortcut to just skip that step and find the final answer. So instead of finding the tax first and then adding it on, I'm lazy, I just want to do it all in one step. So instead of multiplying it by 0.13, I'm going to multiply it by 1.13. So that 1 here is going to add in that $89.70 or $89.98 for me. That 1 is talking about this whole one here. And then it's going to add on the 0.13. So that skips having to add it separately. Okay, so if I plug in 89.98 times 1.13, okay, this is my whole price that I have to spend. It doesn't tell me specifically how much tax I'm spending or how much tax I'm paying, but it tells me what my total is. Okay, I'm going to round that up to the nearest cent. Okay, so that's your total cost, including the tax. Okay, but you don't see what the actual individual tax is. You skipped that step there. Okay, so that's a little shortcut you can use as long as the question I ask you isn't how much tax do you have to pay. Okay, so go ahead and work on those practice problems independently. And of course, if you get through them all, feel free to keep going on to the next video.